John, we've talked about our, kind of our intentions. I really like and have learned a lot from you and having great conversations with you and being inspired by the work you've done around what matters and how you've kind of used that as a family and how kind of, you know, focusing on what matters gives you a different gateway into a conversation rather than focusing on what's the matter. Kind of, can
Yeah.
you share a bit about that for us?
Yeah, I remember doing a fair bit of work in Wales, and their kind of strapline is, it's not what's the matter with you, it's what matters to you, and that should be your starting place. So all the time when I first meet somebody, a young person, young adult, is to try and work out what matters to them, what's important, what brings them joy, what makes their heart sing. And I probably wouldn't use those kind of words, but that's what we're after. You know, where's their passion, where's their drive, where's their motivation? And so you have to be curious, you have to kind of dig around, you have to have a little bit of youth culture in your mind, but don't make assumptions just because they're a young person, they're going to like this, that, or the other. You know, you just need to be there, ask a couple of questions, and I think listen as well, really listen. So for me, I often talk about my art, so I try to maybe connect with that, or music, I think it's a really good thing, or tech, so tech games as well. And as you say, oh yeah, what sort of phone you got? So I've got a phone. And then you say, well, what do you do with it? And he says, well, I talk to my mates, I do my selfies, or I'm a real gamer, you know. So then you start exploring games, and okay, what sort of games do you play? First person shooter, and you build and you build and you build, and you find out they're in a gaming community, and in lockdown they develop relationships that way, you know, and you build on that as well. So I think it's just a great place to start. There's no agenda there. All you want to, you're showing curiosity, you're showing interest, and you're just trying to work out what matters to people. What about yourself? How have you used the what matters agenda?
Yeah, so I've kind of lent into the work you've done around the What Matters Islands, and I kind of really like that, you know, because what matters can be a really nice open question, and you can kind of explore it, but helping me think about asking good questions. I like the idea about, you know, tell me about the people that matter to you.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Kind of, you know, why do they matter? You know, what's going on there? Tell me about the things that matter to you. Like you say, you know, it could be technology, it could be a particular game, it could be, you know, all that kind of stuff,
yeah,
or a musical instrument, whatever. You know, it doesn't really matter. I can fill in the gaps, but it's not important really. It's about what matters to other people, and then what are the things you do that matter to you, and
yeah,
maybe what are the things you'd like to do that you've not yet done that might matter to you as well.
yeah,
So kind of really finding that out, and I what I love about taking that approach is it's kind of the complete opposite from the kind of deficit model. Like you know, that idea that we have to identify what's wrong to be able
yeah.
to get a service or access some type of threshold or get some money or, you know, get some help. So I love that kind of different approach. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Now, I think with the what matters agenda, it's just remembering those things that are important to people. And I always try, because we've only got what, 4 or 5 sessions with young people. And I
Mm.
think in session 2, I always refer back to what matters to them. So I was on a call today, and how's your FIFA going? You know, whereabouts are you? You know, and straight away they remembered that what matters to me is FIFA. And I think
Mm.
just remembering those small little things builds up trust really quickly. I don't know
Yeah,
about you, whether you kind of remind people of the stuff you've remembered.
yeah.
I just think it's just a really great thing. You know, I've gone from politics to some heavy metal music to some art to a whole range of things, but just making a simple note of that and then just asking them, how's it going, or what's happening
Absolutely.
in that.
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of demonstrates you've listened and they've been heard, and kind of really, I think, kind of, you know, it demonstrates that value. You know, you value them and you value what matters to them. It's kind of really important. And I love using it as well when, you know, maybe people are, you know, aren't having a great time. You know, maybe they've had a bit of a tough day, a tough hour, a tough week. And actually inviting them, once they've had a good old talk about, you know, what's going on for them, but inviting them to think about back again what matters, or reflecting on that, can just change, just access a different moment, you know, access a different kind of thought and idea. So I kind
Yeah,
of love that side of it.
excellent.
And the other thing I really enjoy about the What Matters is that often we find about, or I find it quite difficult potentially to sort of say, look, this is what I like, or this is what people like about me or admire about me, or these are
Yeah,
my skills or my gifts, or this is what I'm good at. And that kind of thinking back about the people that matter to you and saying, okay, so, you know, you say here, John matters to you. So what would John say you're good at? You know, that kind of stuff.
yeah.
It opens up a lot more insight, which is
Did
great.
you have a story about because pets are family as well, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what was the story you tell me about a pet going?
Yeah. So I was working, having some conversations through Time to Talk with this young man, and we got to the point where we said, kind of, what's people like about you, and he just didn't know,
Right.
and I gave enough space there for some good thinking time, and
Yeah.
just taking that judgment. We're not moving into anxiety. There's some kind of thought going on. But then he didn't know, and he kind of just didn't know whatsoever. So I asked him the question, look, I can't speak dog, but if I could, and I had a good chat with your dog, what would your dog tell me that he likes about you? And straight away, the guy just opened up. Oh, he'd say, I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm always
Wow.
there for him, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, really, really kind of powerful way of helping people get insight into themselves.
Brilliant stuff. So we started with good intentions, and once we come to that place and we're together, then it's really just finding out what matters. That's our starting place for people.